Hello, I am tatocat and welcome to my channel. Today we are playing Lucid9. Last time we played this, we got some info from Ryota, but didn't tell Shigure. And then we found out that Elizabeth's friend was actually a super spy in disguise. And now Shigure is being mean. Alright, let's continue. What upsets me is what she's doing now. Tell me how. Ishimoto. Tell me, Shigure, how do I prove myself? Give me some riddle or a logic puzzle or, I don't know, a complicated piece of Sudoku. Please don't do Sudoku. Please don't do Sudoku. I hate Sudoku. I'm not good at it. I'm supposed to help, supposed to be your assistant. Shigure slams her foot into the nearest trash can. It doesn't topple, but the reverb of leather against tin stops me in my tracks. She leans close, eyes narrowed with intensity. Ishimoto, I will only say this once. You may think you fully understand the circumstances which surround these crimes, but you are sorely mistaken. Do not be so quick to forget I am nearly a decade your senior, and have seen a great many cases that are beyond your comprehension. I speak not of your intelligence, but of your mental capacity. You are yet very fragile, Ishimoto, and this case may break you. That didn't worry you before. Then, let me ask of you this. Are you ready to physically examine a body that has been masterfully taken apart by a sadist with all the time in the world? No. No, just the thought makes me queasy. There has to be something else I can do. Enough. I tire of this conversation. This is my decision, Ishimoto. I will be certain to compensate you for the time spent until now. Go home safely. So that's it then? Because I'm still young, because I'm too unstable to be able to see a mutilated body, I can't be of any use? Shigure. Farewell, Ishimoto. Let us not meet again. And just like that, she turns on one heel and strides away. For a moment I stand frozen in the streets watching her figure melt into the smoky evening air. Then I want a quiet senior year. A year of breezing by with my friends, no fuss, no muss. I always wanted a quiet life, probably something that involved managing the family restaurant, which I neither had passion nor patience for, but seemed like the least painful option in the lot of life. Also, just to let you guys know, I am doing this in one take because my video editor isn't cooperating with me, so I apologize for any unedited mistakes into the future. Really, I can't blame Shigure, can't I? No, some part of me still feels like I deserve a better explanation, maybe even a reward. After all, didn't I get her something vital from Natsuki Tanaka? No, that's right. I'm withholding information from her, information that I gathered from a confidential informant. Perhaps she doesn't trust me, but neither have I been trusting her. If anything, this encounter only solidified my decision. I don't know what will happen. I can't predict the actions of the people who are close to me. All that's left is to look around and keep digging. Try to pull things together myself, even if I'm just a random student at a random stuck-up school. Which means I need to start with anything weird that's happened over the past few days. Weird? Such as emails from unknown senders sporadically popping up. Pretty convenient timing when I think about it. Maybe I should just send something random, see how they respond. Stupid troll wisdom to Crimson Crusade at LindyPost.com. At first I thought there was nothing stupider than doing something that made no sense, regardless of whether I enjoyed it or not. Today changed my mind about that. There are things worth doing, even if at first glance they make no sense. There are things that can be appreciated even if they serve no use. There are things that deserve to be given a chance, even at their worst. But I didn't realize that until too late. And we sent it. Now to head back home and get some rest. Guess it's been a long day. I dream of pools of sludge and laughing bones and shards of glass splitting across the edge of my skin. What a lovely dream to have. I wake in a cold sweat with my heart thumping against my ribs. For a moment, I can only lie there breathlessly, struggling to recollect my thoughts. It's over. You never have to do stupid, dangerous things again. You no longer have anything to do with those crimes. Unless, of course, it's by my own volition. I throw on my uniform and head to the kitchen, selecting some simple fruit for breakfast as I scroll through my phone. Looks like I have another email from the mysterious Crimson Crusade. I see. Life as a troll sounds quite difficult. I too would be upset if I was forbidden from forecasting the weather. How do you feel about this development? Is the Crimson Crusade Mr. Ryota? He sounds like a therapist. The plain, honest words are a soothing balm in the midst of all this deception I've undergone. I compose a valid response. I don't know. This was the first time I actually felt like I was good at something useful. Now that it's gone, I have nothing. If I had another chance, I'd take it eagerly, but I doubt I'll get one. I send the message as I finish up breakfast, waiting for a response. This time, though, I'm only greeted with silence. Maybe I was too philosophical. Maybe I was too serious. Maybe they won't respond again. No, that's not that it's my problem. When it's clear that the reply won't come anytime soon, I grab my backpack and head to school. Despite the beautiful weather, the atmosphere is stifling. The entrance, usually occupied by students before class, is desolate. Curious, I head to the courtyard. It's almost just as empty. Only a handful of students are scattered around the corners, whispering frantically beneath their breaths. I notice a solemn Yahiko on a nearby bench, speaking with an equally solemn boy. It's such an unusual sight that I creep closer, trying to get a hint of their conversation. What take it so hard? How's it been? Hanging in there, I guess. He said that he wasn't coming today. Why not? Didn't say. He's been spending a lot of time in his dorm, though. He won't respond to me. And he just talked with Irie. Irie? Why would that matter? Come to think of it, Irie has always been surrounded by rumors, even before the people accused her of being the source of disappearances. If I remember correctly, it wasn't that she caused the disappearances herself. Rather, she supposedly emitted this aura of bad luck that indirectly led their misfortunes. That's incredible. That's just a witch hunt. Really. Pointing fingers is usually unnecessary, but this is getting weird. She talks to Midori, and Midori freaks out, then disappears. Then it's Toma who freaks out and also disappears. Even Akane. And Shoji too? Yesterday she came up to him at lunch. He won't tell me what they talked about. But he's also acting differently. For now, just keep trying to talk with him. Whatever you do, don't leave him alone. Right. See you after class. Yeah, you hang in there too, okay? As always. The boy strides away, Yahiko slumps on the bench, dropping his hands over his eyes. It's so out of character that I have to pinch myself to make sure I'm not dreaming. When I decide that I'm fully awake, and that serious Yahiko is actually a thing, I approach the bench. Hey. Yahiko immediately bolts upright, all signs of tension melting from his face as he dons his characteristic smile. Why, hello, my good minion. What brings you to this place? That's suspicious. Still, I prefer that he not know I was just eavesdropping on him. I play along. Do you know why the school's so quiet? Do I know why the sky is blue? No, Yahiko. You don't know why the sky is blue. Or you think it's like magical socks got sucked up into a machine and it fell in the water and dyed the sky blue, or some sort of ridiculous thing like that. Do you? Do I? He seems back to normal, if this is what his normal state really is. Oh right, I remember. Apparently the police dug some body in the woods or something. It caused a big uproar. Why? Well, it was one of those disappearing students. You remember her, Akane Tsukino? That name definitely sounds familiar, and it's not just from the investigation. Her boyfriend's a wreck, poor sap. Her boyfriend? Boyfriend. Akane, a disappearance, a boyfriend who's worried sick. She must be the girlfriend of the guy who I'd fought with the other day. I am so proud that Yama has finally remembered this, because it seems like it gets brought up and he's like, why is this familiar? Right. They were blaming Irie for her disappearance, and I stepped in, and right in her boyfriend's face I told him he'd get over it. He would get over Akane in a week or two. Her body was found. Well, what was left of it. These words don't match his face. Why is he so happy about that? What was left of it? Hold on, something beginning to make sense. That police officer, Officer Katsu, was it? Said I was on a crime scene in that case. I have a problem with Officer Katsu. It has nothing to do with the fact that he just kind of seemed shady to me, but his name reminds me of food. So cops, you know how are sometimes called pigs, and there is a dish called tonkatsu, which is a fried pork cutlet, and so every time I hear katsu I think of tonkatsu. When was her body found? Don't tell me. Yesterday, or so the rumors go. Yesterday morning? Yeah, how'd you know? An immense wave of guilt washes over me. Akane Tsukino. Dead. I vaguely remember the harsh words I spewed at her boyfriend. Shoichi, was it? No. Shoji. How could he be feeling now? Probably awful. You'll get over her in a week or two. I'd said that when I thought he was clingy and irrational and blaming Irie. But now she's dead, brutally murdered in the depths of the Isamu forest without a single soul to mourn her passing. On the bright side, if there is one, I now understand more than I used to. Why Officer Katsu was at the forest, why he claimed it was a crime scene, why Shigure asked me to go look. because a body had been found, an actual body. Hey, you okay, dude? Looks like Yahiko noticed my silence. I can only continue my line of inquiry. At the very least. Maybe I can somehow help the investigation, even without Shigure. Shoji, the name of her boyfriend, right? Yeah, how'd you... Do you know him? Yeah. How? At the most inconvenient moment the warning bell tolls, Yahiko immediately grins. Oops, guess that's the bell. I mustn't have my perfect reputation tainted with the rumors of tardiness. He strides to her classroom, beckoning for me to follow. Even stranger. Yahiko is shady. I apprehensively walk alongside him, wondering just how much I actually know about Yahiko Ikari. I used to believe that I knew everything about Yahiko. He seemed simple at first glance, as readable as my books from 3rd grade. I still remember how he looked, somehow pulling 3 bulky suitcases through the door with his skinny arms. He was smiling then too. In fact, I rarely saw him without his smile. Hello, Rumi. I had already unpacked and was currently lying in my bed, reading some novel or another on my phone to pass the time. I'd even look up to issue my greeting. Yo. The name is Yahiko Ikari. From today onward, I am your new overlord. This caught my attention. I hastily glanced up. The first thing I noticed was his hair. It was bright yellow for one thing. That made it pretty noticeable. It was also cut around his face in swaying layers, like he was some kind of idol. The next thing I noticed were his shoes. Most of the kids at the academy had nice shoes, of course, but his were on a different scale of nice. They were loafers, brown, like usual, but they were also etched with unusual designs that glowed with a sheen of some expensive material. Later I found out they were custom made from Italy. Now that I needed to know that to make my judgment, I returned to my book, bored. Womanizer, rich kid, arrogant, neat freak. At the very least, his type wouldn't be a terrible roommate, as long as I didn't have to talk to him. When I think about it now, it really shouldn't come as a surprise that his parents are higher-ups at Limnisgate. That's true, for someone as observant as you are. His grades are nowhere good enough to get a scholarship, and yet he waltzes into this expensive, prestigious school wearing Italian loafers and probably scarves from Sweden. Not to mention that, as ignorant as he might be in anything of value, he's always up to date on the latest pop culture and technological releases. He could just be nerdy about that stuff, though. Hey, pay attention to me. What does that mean? So you're paying attention? I expected him to explode in a fit of angry entitlement. Do you know who I am? Do you know who my father is? Do you know what I could do to you? But he did something completely unexpected. He dropped his luggage and immediately raced to my side, his eyes shining. Are you speaking another language? I've always wanted a multilingual minion. This is perfect. I made my first impressions from arrogant to crazy. Regardless, this was a pretty good opportunity to have some fun. Can you write that all down? You can't write? Does that mean yes or no? So, wait, what? I love Yahiko. You just want to pet his head and be like, "Aw, Yahiko." The bewilderment on his face was so genuine that I couldn't help but laugh. Of all people I'd meet, this guy has had to be the most gullible. My name's Yama. Oh, I understood that, because he's speaking Japanese. Really? Yes. Well, It's only to be expected. Someone as amazing as me can pick up on languages in a snap. I see. I see. Can you understand this? Yeah. What about this? Yeah. And this? I understand it. I understand it all. Wow. That's amazing. You know all 20 dialects of my language. He beamed with pride. Of course I do. I'm an Ikari. I see. So, what planet are you from? Planet? Well, that was a sudden jump. Jupiter. Really? I didn't know people lived on Jupiter. Not people. Jarzites. I paused for dramatic effect before reeling off anything that came to mind in that moment. We are invincible from physical impact. We are humanoid, but our blood is blue. We abhor earthian insects, but have a strong affinity towards animals. Wait, let me take notes on this. I need to know how the best to utilize the Jarzite minion. He eagerly dug through his luggage, tossing clothes, cosmetics, and limnescape tech here and there in the midst of his frantic search. I shook my head in disbelief. Did he actually believe that I was from another planet? Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with it. Write down the following phrase. Yeah. This is a joke. This is... Funny. In our world, that means you're messing around. Was he serious? Yes, he's absolutely serious. That's what this is. A joke. I'm from Earth. No, silly. You're a Jarzite. I was joking. I'm not a Jarzite. I'm actually human. What? Yes, he was serious. He was actually serious. Why did you tell me you were a Jarzite? Because you're gullible and it's fun. This guy would pretty much believe anything, wouldn't he? Tired of providing explanations, I simply returned to my book, but Yahiko almost hit it out of my hands. What about your name? Was that a lie too? What? Your name, Yama. If you really want to check, our names are on the door. His face immediately turned blank, and he sighed. You didn't see it when you came in? There are two nameplates, Yahiko and Yama. Well, my good minion, never fear. I hold nothing against you for concealing such vital information from me. I didn't conceal any... Now if you may grant me silence, I must unpack. I sighed again and returned to my book, resigning to bear with this obnoxious roommate for the entire year. My opinion of him hasn't changed much since then. He's still egotistical, oblivious, and mildly insane, but he always means well, even in the oddest of ways. Despite my frequent criticism of him, his stupid actions actually cheered me up. Now that he seems to be struggling with something, I want to repay the favor. Strangely enough, Yahiko doesn't give me a single glance all throughout class. In fact, he's completely silent, speaking only when the teacher calls on him and his answers are correct. Is Yahiko playing dumb, or is he really dumb? Is my question. It's enough to startle the entire class. On any other day, they'd probably gossip about it. Today, though, there are obviously more important things to discuss. Classes proceed as usual, but no one seems to be paying attention. Even the teachers are out of it. Lectures are barely coherent. When lunch break arrives, I'm ready to speak with Yahiko, but a sudden cold voice interrupts me. Hey, you. I turn around apathetically. A stocky boy is standing before me, fists clenched. Oh, wasn't this the guy who was talking with Yahiko this morning? And you are? Harubunya. Harubunya? Can I call you Bunny? Never heard of you. I tried to walk past him, but he refuses to move. I'm a friend of Shoji. I stopped cold at that. I was there when you said those words to him. What do you want me to do? Apologize? Most people would want that, yes, Yama. That'd be a good place to start, yeah. Guilt and anger intertwined in the pits of my stomach. We didn't know she was dead then. You mocked him for worrying while she was being murdered. Have you seen the Average High School Relay? Have you seen them? How can you be their judge without knowing anything about them? Is that an excuse to pick on Rui? On Irie? What about spreading fake rumors? Look, you're not the only one at fault, but would you be saying the same thing if you found out the girl you loved was murdered in cold blood? The words hit harder because, yes indeed, I thought of them myself. I'm sorry. Don't say that to me. Without warning, he grabs my school tablet straight out of my hands. I'm too stunned to even stop him. He even taps something on the note section. 10 digits, bold, clean cut on the screen. Phone number. Say that to him. He hands me back my tablet before striding out of the classroom, leaving me shaken. I immediately head to the rooftop to get some fresh air. However, his words echo and re-echo in my skull with every step. Your fault, she's dead. Too late. I shoved them out as I burst through the door. I nearly rush into a vase full of plants in my haste. The sunlight angrily cuts into my eyes as I slump on the nearest bench, breathing deeply through my nose. I just need some rest, some silence, some... Eek, watch out. I jerk upright as a giant monster of fluffy fabric plummets through the air, pelting the space where my head was just moments ago. Suddenly a very large, warm weight plops squarely on my lap, and I feel a tickle of velvety hair against my cheek. In the space of 10 seconds, I've somehow acquired an Akira Kurube. Every time she makes this face. Sitting on the edge of my knees, hands braced against my shoulders, nose just an inch away from mine. How did she manage to do that? Never mind, the anime world. I don't even have time to be embarrassed. As quickly as she landed on me, Akira jumps away, flushing brilliant red. I'm sorry, Yama, I didn't mean... A response tumbles out of my mouth before I have the time to think. What? It's fine. But it's so... It's fine, really. Akira buries her face in her hands. Thoroughly mortified, I seize a moment to glance around, trying to figure out what just happened. The fabric beside me seems to be a pile of costumes, silks and satins in rich colors, meticulous embroidery, and white lace are just some of the materials that catch my eye. It's an enormous pile. I can't believe she was just trying to carry it by herself. Are these for drama club? Yes, we're having a dress rehearsal for an impromptu show after school. You should come and give your undying support to Rui. I've never seen her in such a strange mood before. Akira may be Akira, but something seems to be bothering her intensely. Maybe I should ask her about it. Our options are ask her or never mind. And I was already hinted earlier and from one of my previous episodes that if we don't choose the right thing here, we will not get a good ending. And I'm already on her path anyway, so I will ask her. Say, is everything okay? Of course, everything's greater than gravy, redder than rain, peachier than the peachiest peach poacher who possibly poached a plethora of peaches. Say that 10 times fast. Yeah, something's definitely suspicious. It almost feels like she's trying too hard. You sure? My, you've gotten quite observant, haven't you? She shuffles backwards, clasping her hands together. The truth is, I'm nervous. I relax. Well, that was anticlimactic. Nervous for... Isamu is about to explode in 30 seconds. If I can't disarm the bomb in time. Then, why are you wasting your time around here? Oh, Admiral, you have no sense of humor. On the contrary, you should have played along. Her shoulders loosen from their prior tension as she releases a tiny giggle. You strike a fair point. Very well, I admit it. I, Akira Karube, veteran of the drama club, am nervous for an impromptu performance. Oh, the shame, the dishonor, the... Isn't it just your second year in the drama club? Huh? Anyone gets stage fright. Even lifelong actors get stage fright. All you can do is practice. Practice? Why, I dare say that's a great idea. Of course it is. I, the great Yama, have told you so. So, wanna be my partner? Wait, what? This is probably the last thing I'm in the mood for. No. I didn't even tell you what to do. What do I need to do? You just need to stand there like a candle on a stick. No. Admiral Meatyhead. Just ask Rui. I should... That's an unusual response. You don't want to? It's not a question of wanting to. Then what's the question? On the contrary, what is the answer? What? The question doesn't matter so as long as you have the answer. You can find the answer if you have the right question. You can also find the question if you have the right answer. Purple. I just gave you an answer. What's the question? Oh, you're a sneaky one, Admiral Meatyhead. I see I've underestimated you. I can't help but chuckle at that. So, will you help a comrade in need? I want to say yes, but decide to play around a little more. Maybe. There is no middle ground. Choose to stay which side you take. I recommend you choose wisely, she says with evil, crazy anime murder eyes. Then no. Please? Fine. Really? Yes. I don't trust you. Why? I said fine. Any man who is quick to change his mind should not be trusted. I don't blame her. Something about being around Akira makes me whimsical. Maybe she's rubbing off on me. Regardless, I slap my hand on my chest and salute and bow. I swear, I'll be your practice partner for this lunch period. Satisfied? Swear upon the grave of protein shakes and molasses. And we have a deal. Only Akira. I love Akira. Protein shakes and... No, I shouldn't even be surprised at this point. I solemnly swear upon the grave of protein and molasses. Protein shakes. Protein shakes and molasses. I'll be your practice partner for this lunch period. I accept this oath and bend it to... You know, time's running out. If we're going to practice, we should do it now. Party pooper. Akira clears her throat and steps away, closing her eyes. Despite myself, I feel a rush of excitement. This is just like when Rui and I played make-believe. Akira suddenly whips around, flinging an arm towards me, her entire posture thumping with power. I see you finally arrived, sacred star flame. We're magical girls now. Got it. Truly, it is perfect timing. You get front row seat to the mass zombification of your people. Sacred Starflame? What kind of character would that be? Not today, Shadow Bell. I shall purify your soul and then purify the planet. We shall see. First you must proceed through me. O spirits of the cosmos, bond with the summons of the abyss and hear my call. Expatriate this world. That is a terrible name for a spell. Akira lunges for the pile of fabric on the bench, the drawing a long, narrow paintbrush out of nowhere. Okay, we will end here for this episode. I apologize for any mistakes, because like I said, I can't edit them out right now. Let's see you next time. We'll see what happens if our world gets, expatriated. I am tatocat. Have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon.